So I've come to conclude that a lot of these videos are just about me getting injured. And this is another one of those videos. This video is about me getting into a fight. So I've been in multiple fights. Stupid chair. So I've been in multiple fights, but I mean, like, the first one I was in was, like, whenever I was little. Like, I remember in first grade, some kid cut me in line, and I, like, stepped in front of him. Then he stepped in front of me again, and he, like, kind of pushed me back and was like, no, I'm cutting you. And back in first grade, I was like, yo, I'm gonna beat you up because you cut me, because, you know, that's what you do when you're in first grade. And we kind of just started shoving and shoving and shoving, and it was finally just, like, me trying to pull him down and him trying to pull me down. And then, you know, we got in trouble, but it wasn't nothing, like, major. But, yeah, that's just a little kid fight. Then whenever I was older, probably in 5th grade, you know, me and my neighborhood friends had this little powwow where we would, you know, grab our racer scooters and get down the street and, like, race each other. And the one kid, he was a real jerk, all right? And I was just riding my scooter, and we were just, like, kind of discussing, because we would do races. And the one kid, I was one of the better kids. Like, I had one of the higher end scooters, but I mean, they're all pretty much the same, but I was still, like, I was a little bit bigger than them. And I was older also. So this one kid, I beat him before. Then, you know, we'd race different people. Then I raced him again, and I beat him again. Then we raced a third time, and he's like, yeah, I could tell he's, like, really determined just to beat me. And I beat him again, and he's like, wow, what the heck, you're cheating, and starts, like, accusing me of all this stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm not cheating, I'm just better than you. And then he was getting all mad, and we, like, argued for, like, 5 minutes, and then he finally just got so mad that he took my scooter and he broke it. Like, he took the leg part and the handle part and he bent them, like, in half so that, like, my scooter was broken. And then at that point, I just took my hand and I just whapped him across the face. And he kind of fell over and, like, held his face. And I went for his scooter because I was so mad because that was, like, my favorite thing to do with scooter. And I picked up his scooter and I slammed it down. So then he came from behind and kind of shoved me. Then I turned around and just whapped him again. Then I broke his scooter, and then I pushed him. Then he came back, tried to push me, and I just slapped him again. And then I kind of just, like, went off with my day. But the most recent fight is probably, like, a more serious one. Like, it wasn't like little kitty slappy fights. No, it was like Mayweather and Pacquiao. So I was at the mall, and at the mall, we don't do much. I know, I've told you guys before, we kind of just walk around and don't buy stuff. Whenever I'm at the mall, I'm always with a group of friends, and my group of friends, like, it's pretty much the same people every time, and, you know, they're not the most mature. How about that? Yeah, that's a good word. So we see another group of 4 kids, and there were, like, 5 of us. So we they were walking down one side, and we were walking down the other, and they were kind of eyeing us, and we were kind of eyeing them. But, you know, I'm not about, like, hey, let's just go after them and just cause a big fight. There's, like, a walkway in between, because it's, like, one side and then the other side, and they're, like, separated, because there's, like, a big gap, and that leads to the first floor. We're just walking, and then my friends are, like, whispering, they're like, oh, faggots, they're so gay, look at them, they're so gay, they're F-boys, and stuff like that. They were all whispering. I'm like, all right, guys, just shut up, you're not gonna do anything. He's like, oh, yeah? Then my friend just goes, hey, faggots! And I'm just like, what the heck is your problem? So, you know, they kind of, like, they turned around, they're like, what'd you say? And then my friend's like, hey, faggots, again. I'm like, dude, shut up. And then he's like, and they're like, you want to fight? They said something really cheesy, like, yo, you want to fight? And they come marching over, like, all like, steamhead, like, F-boys. And they shove my one friend. My friend's like, he's like, what'd you say? I'm like, yeah, you're a faggot. And he shoves him back. And then he kind of, like, starts to, like, go after him, but his one friend stopped him. And then he's like, let's fight right now, outside. And my friend's like, oh, yeah, bring it, dude. Like, being sarcastic, not thinking this kid's gonna do anything. I'm like, you're gonna get the crap beaten out of you. And I don't want to get involved in this. So we go outside, all right? I don't know why, like, they start going outside, and my friend's like, they start talking, like, should we go? And my friend's like, yeah, we're going. And I'm like, you are such idiots. Just walk away from it. But no, they had to go with them, and I'm not going to just step away from it because I kind of wanted to watch it. And it was just the 2 were going to fight. And I'm like, nah, we should probably step in and be a team so that we can kind of, like, scare him off a little bit, because there's 4 versus 5. We were pretty equal in strength, though. And he's, like, walking around. He's, like, ready to fight. And then we get out, and we're, like, facing each other. And I'm just, like, I just shout, how about no? And they're like, what? What'd you say? And I'm like, how about we don't fight? And they're like, no, I'm fighting. And he called me a faggot. I'm like, all right, why don't you just walk away and don't care about it, because what's it going to do in 10 years? What's that going to matter? They're like, no, I'm gonna beat him right now. I'm like, you don't have to. Like, just don't do this, because, you know, somebody's going to see it, somebody's going to call security, and somebody's going to get hurt, and somebody's going to get kicked out of the mall or something. And I don't want to be involved in this, and I'm sure you guys don't want to be, like, involved in this either, like, talking, like, looking at the friends. And, you know, I'm pretty good at convincing people out of it. And my friends are just, like, kind of standing behind me, just, like, kind of listening, but, like, kind of talking to each other. I'm like, we're going to walk away now. Don't bother us. We're not going to bother you. He said he's sorry, and let's just forget about it. And then he's like, oh, he said he's sorry. And, like, he said, and I'm like, yeah, he said he's sorry. And he's like, oh, well, I want to hear from him. And I'm like, oh, dang it. Because my friend's not going to say sorry. He's just not going to say sorry. So we start walking away. He's like, and he grabs my one friend. He's like, yo, say sorry. And my friend pushes him off. He's like, no, get the F away from me. And then he's like, say you're sorry then, or we're going to fight. And he's like, nope, get away. Because I kind of convinced them before we went outside to not fight. So then my friend starts walking away, and one more time the kid grabs him. Then my friend just turns around and whaps him in the face. I'm like, dude, you're such an idiot. He whaps him in the face. The kid falls over. Then his 3 friends start rushing him. And I'm like, oh, we got to help him, because he's going to get the crap beaten out of him. So us 5 are running against these 3. And obviously, like me and my other friend went after one kid, and we kind of got him on the ground, and my one friend kind of kicked him and, like, was standing by him to make sure he didn't get up. Then I went over to help another friend who was, like, kind of just tussling with his other kid. Then we threw him down, and he was kind of down. Then the one kid was, like, punching my the kid that called him a faggot. And so I ran over, pushed him off. My other friend came over and kind of just, like, held him down. Then, like, the other guys started getting up, and the one kid, like, my one friend was just kind of holding him, and he wasn't going to do anything. Like, they were just kind of, like, holding shoulders. And my one friend, who's, like, the strongest, kind of just, like, got on top of the kid that, like, wanted to fight everybody and was holding him there. And he's just like, stop, stop, stop. And the kid was like, let me at him, let me at him. And my one friend who called him a faggot just kind of stood up and left, and we all kind of just stood there after my friend was done holding him, like, on the ground. And we kind of just stood there, and he's like, or he said something really stupid. He's like, F you, how about round 2? And I'm like, guys, no, we're not doing this again. This is going to be stupid if you do it again. And we're like, nah. He's like, say you're sorry. And, like, trying to get all these things that urge my friend on to fight him. And we're just like, nah, being sarcastic. Because it was kind of funny. Like, we were going to beat him up if they went after us again. And the one kid started rushing us, and we kind of all just turned around and, like, looked at him. And he knew if he was, like, gonna come after us, he was gonna get destroyed. So he kind of just stopped. Like, it was literally like he was full on rushing us. Then he just stopped in, like, his tracks and just stared at us. He's like, all right. And then he walked the other way. Then we got picked up from the mall, and that was it. But it was a funny experience because nobody really got hurt except my one friend who called him a faggot, but he kind of deserved it. The other kid kind of got hurt. Like, you could see they were scraped up, and the one kid got nailed in the face. So violence isn't the answer, guys. Just saying. So if you're ever in a situation like that, just try to be nice and walk away, because otherwise something bad's gonna happen, probably way worse than that. Like, that could have been way worse. Like, they had it on security. Like, I saw the security cameras, and they have it on security, like, film, but security wasn't there. Nobody was walking by, so nobody really saw it. But if, like, a security guard was there, we probably would have gotten a lot of trouble, but we were lucky. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you had a good time watching it. As always, leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you do next, guys. I'll see you in the next episode, and goodbye. And they're really cool and neat, but they're like such a toy. Like, it's a